The University of Pennsylvania's Lia Thomas, a transgender athlete assigned male at birth, dominated this weekend's women's swimming Ivy League championships, winning 3 individual events and smashing records. But does she have an unfair advantage in the pool after transitioning from male to female while in college? It's a debate that's dividing the swimming community and even her own teammates. Here's ABC's JuJu Chang.
Lia Thomas will capture the win in the 200-yard freestyle.
Controversy along with victory as transgender athlete Lia Thomas took home wins in the 100, 200, and 500-yard freestyle at the Ivy League Women's Championship over the weekend, shattering records along the way.
A new pool record, a new meet record.
Thomas, who was assigned male at birth, competed on UPenn's men's team for 3 seasons before undergoing 2 years of hormone therapy. Schuler Baylor, the first openly transgender athlete on an NCAA Division I men's team, calls Thomas's success a step forward for trans representation.
Watching a trans person thrive in sport is amazing because we are so discriminated against. And so for her to be able to get up there and win and break some records, awesome, right? But it's also just awesome that she's able to be herself and compete.
Swimmer Isaac Hainig, a trans man who has delayed hormone treatment, competes on the Yale women's team. He's defending Thomas, who he'd beaten in the water back in January.
I think that a lot of the very strong takes come from people, misunderstanding what it means for Lia to be complying with the rules, to, have undertaken all of these steps to ensure that things are fair.
Isaac began socially transitioning last year, undergoing top surgery, but he decided to continue to compete for the women's team.
The big thing that I chose not to do was start hormones. I felt really attached to the women's team here at Yale, and I wanted to, complete what I signed up for.
But for other athletes, especially trans women, the choice between self and sport is tricky, often requiring hormones to qualify to compete on women's teams. All this fueling a national debate on how to be inclusive to trans athletes. Critics argue athletes like Thomas have an unfair advantage.
From the beginning, I've said that biological boys should not play in women's sports.
Thomas declined to speak with ABC News, but recently shared her experience on the SWIMSWAM podcast.
I've experienced a lot of muscle loss and strength loss. I have to readjust my goals and what I think of as a good time or a good pace to hold in practice.
Lia Thomas has been through puberty. So that's 10 years of having testosterone, making broader shoulders and bigger lungs and strength.
Nancy Hogshead-Makar is a women's rights attorney and former 3-time Olympic gold medal swimmer. She coordinated a petition among Thomas's UPenn teammates, speaking out against her participation in the league championship.
Men and women are built very differently. So we created women's sports specifically so that biological women could have a place to win, to get accolades, to make a living, all of the things that come with elite sports. They want her to lead a happy, productive life, but they don't think it's fair that she's competing in the women's category. That's not trans hate.
After the NCAA recently said each sport could set its own rules, USA Swimming announced new guidelines for trans female athletes, requiring a lower level of testosterone and adding an independent 3-person medical panel to determine whether the athlete has an unfair competitive advantage. But the NCAA announced this month that the new USA Swimming guidelines would not be enforced this year, clearing the way for Lia to compete in her final year.
Unfortunately, it has become about Lia Thomas, and that is a tragedy because it never should have. We have so many sport leaders that are paid exceptionally well to be able to come up with sports policy, but they weren't going to do that until we had somebody like Lia Thomas coming forward.
Our thanks to JuJu for that.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.